I
So
take a lot of pride in it.
Where was the money going?
I would use, I got behind, and I would use the deposits from one to buy the carpet for the next one, but when I would do, I didn't take anything for labor, so when I would do the labor, I would have the money to buy the next one. I was basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was running a great business. I take a lot of pride in it. I was running a great business up until 2018. I spent 2 weeks in the Seidman Cancer Unit with my mother. I got behind, I wasn't able to do one job. That's what the thing in Cleveland's for. One job. And I paid that, and I paid them in full. I was still given probation. I violated and did 6 months there. Here, I took 10 deposits and I did 7 of them. I got 7 of them done.
Okay, but at some point you fell behind for the
Yes.
first time, okay? So when you fell behind the first time, where did that money go?
I used it for bills at home. That was when I went.
What did you use for drugs?
At the time, I was completely clean. In 18, I was completely clean.
Okay.
I don't want to give you excuses, Your Honor. My mom passed, Mom got cancer.
How much did you
I
spend
lost
on,
it.
how much did you spend on drugs? I guess that's my question.
Oh, Lord. I couldn't even, average $40 a day.
Okay. So in the money from John Nightingale was from August of 21, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you
Yes,
spending
sir.
that money on drugs?
Your Honor, I mean, I can't.
Well, whether you spend it
Sure, yes.
directly on whether you spend it directly on drugs
Or indirectly,
as well
yes.
as the money from Seth Crawley, I mean, money's fungible, so you were
I
that
agree.
money was in the mix going to drugs, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So where are you at?
What do you mean?
Where are you at?
What?
You're 48 years old. Where are you at?
I want recovery. I want to be sober again.
Okay.
It may sound ridiculous to most. I've come a long way. It's been a long process. I thank God that I came here and detoxed. I have a great family. I have a fiance who's barely keeping her head above water. She's working 7 days a week. I love my family. I love taking care of my family. And I'm glad I'm sober today. I was offered Suboxone and methadone when I went to Cuyahoga from here, and I refused them both. I don't want anything. I don't want that at all.
Are you serving a sentence right now?
I'm in Cuyahoga till December.
Okay. That started in June?
Correct, Your
So
Honor.
he got credit. The credit he has is from his date of arrest until the sentence in Cuyahoga?
The credit he has is from May 5th, when he was incarcerated in the county jail, and when his bond was set at OR at the information hearing on 6/12.
Okay. So you're on Cuyahoga's time until December. December what?
I think the 14th.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure.
Does he have to go back there after today? Nicole, do you know? Or Emily?
They said I'm borrowed.
I don't know for sure.
I'm unaware, Your Honor.
I can probably find out for you if you'd like.
Can you go check with Maria
Yes, sir.
to see what her understanding is? So what's the reason, after you were contacted by Mr. Nightingale and Mr. Crawley, that, because you kept putting them off, right?
I did.
You kept telling them.
I was with my mom giving her chemo, and she eventually died.
Okay.
I didn't have the money anymore. I messed up. I should have asked for help. I have good people that would have helped me.
All right, so with those two individuals, you were just kind of running the clock down to avoid the inevitable, right?
I planned on giving them their money back.
So how
I
did
thought
they
I could. I thought I could, whether, I never intentionally set out to hurt anybody.
how did they get their money back?
Excuse me?
How do they get their money back?
I'll pay them back
How?
by working,
Okay, doing what?
installing carpet. I have, one of my sponsors runs a business and carpet is part of it.
Who's that?
Todd Gertler. His number, he sent a letter.
Okay.
He's been sober about 10 years. Your Honor, I have, the only friends I have are in AA. I had my mother, my family, and my friends. I should have asked for help. I don't have it, you know.
How long has it been that your only friends have been in AA?
Since 2016.
Okay, well, you know, then you gotta use them.
I should have asked for help.
Okay, and the last time you talked to Bill was back in May?
No, it's months before that.
Okay. Are you gonna call Bill back?
Absolutely.
So what tells me, because Mr. Fatika suggests that you be put on community control, how do I know you're gonna do what you need to do?
I can't predict the future, Your Honor, but I can tell you I want it. I want to take care of my family.
Okay,
My
And
family
so-
struggling. My girls, they both just started high school last week. They need me.
okay, so what steps are you gonna take besides getting with your AA people? What do you think you
Mental health,
need to do?
mental health counseling and IOP.
Okay,
That's my plan
all right.
and work.
When did you go to Signature?
Oh, I want to say 2021. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not, my memory's horrible.
Do you know when that was offhand, Nicole?
I don't recall that we have any records from Signature. The last set of records that I have were from when he had done treatment earlier on. He reported Beacon Health in 2016, jail treatment program in 2018, everything else was prior to 2018.
I signed so they could get my records from Signature Health. I don't know why that we don't have record of it. I was absolutely on their MAP program and getting Suboxone.
So he's been here since July, and Cuyahoga County is expecting it back as soon as this is complete
Okay.
today.
What's the out date in Cuyahoga? Does anybody know?
I just know that it was ordered on 7/6/23, and he was ordered to 6 months. I don't know what exact date.
I was given 24 days time credit that day. I don't know what the exact date of release is. Judge Satula gave me,
Probably early December.
I'm thinking December 14th. I don't know why that's 6 in my head.
All right, Ms. Contour?
Thank you, Your Honor. In the state's review, the defendant does have a lengthy history that involves felonies of violence as well as at least 4 prison terms. At the time that this happened, there's been a warrant out for his arrest for several years, both on this case as well as his case in Cuyahoga, that he is currently serving a sentence on. The state is not confident that the defendant's amenable to community control sanctions. However, if Your Honor does place him on community control sanctions, the state does feel that it would give more structure as to making the victims whole and paying back that restitution to the amount of $2,000 to John Nightingale, as well as $1,578 to Seth Crowley. Thank you.
When is the last time you were diagnosed with any mental illness?
2016,
And where did you go for that?
Beacon Health.
And what did they do? What was the course of treatment?
At first, there were some medications for, PTSD and, bipolar, um, ADHD. And the medications they were basically knocking me out. I couldn't work or anything, so it eventually turned into counseling, which was great. I had great results from counseling.
When's the last time you, took any mental health medication?
2016 or 17, I was taken off of them. And we just continue with counseling.
How many daughters you have?
2. My fiance has 2. I've been with them 9 years. They're like my girls.
Okay. Where do they go to school?
North, both.
What grade?
15-year-old started 9th grade last Monday, and 17-year-old's a senior.
And that, Ms. Contour, it's $1,500 to, Mr. Nightingale,
$1,578, Your Honor, to
$1,578,
Mr. Crowley, and $2,000 to Mr. Nightingale.
$2,000 to Nightingale. All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report, the drug and alcohol evaluation, the victim impact statements, listened to the defendant, listened to counsel, and I've considered all the applicable statutes in this case. I'll put you on community control for 5 years. You're gonna serve 39 days in the jail on this case with 39 credit. Going back to Cuyahoga to finish out. When you get released from Cuyahoga, within 24 hours, you're to report to the probation department. You're going to, have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're gonna get into an IOP for drugs and alcohol and follow the recommendations. You're gonna get a mental health assessment and follow those recommendations. Now, seems to me you'd be better off doing a dual diagnosis, so either a Beacon or Signature, but that's up to you. Either way, I want both done. You're to go to only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for any prescription medication. Take your medication as is prescribed, sign releases for probation. You go to 5 AA meetings a week and obtain a sponsor. You sign releases for probation. You're gonna pay restitution to Mr. Nightingale in the amount of $2,000, Mr. Crawley in the amount of $1,578. You're gonna get full employment, and you're gonna pay the cost and supervision fees in this case. After you get out and report to probation, shortly thereafter, we're gonna have another review hearing. And so between, you got about 3 months to figure out how you're gonna pay Mr. Crawley back and Mr. Nightingale, okay? So when we have that review hearing, We're gonna talk about where you're gonna go for your treatment, and do whatever you can do, being in jail down there, to try to figure out and arrange where you're gonna go, and have something set up by the time you get out. If you can't do it, your fiancé can do it.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I want a specific plan as to how you're gonna pay these folks back. And one that's acceptable, okay? I mean, you've had their money for 2 years, right?
Maybe,
So, they need that money back.
I agree, Your
Not
Honor.
over the course of 5 years, that doesn't work, okay? I'm not on probation, so you can pay them a little bit over the course of 5 years.
I
I'm
understand.
on probation to watch you for 5 years. I want them paid back
I plan to pay them back promptly,
promptly,
promptly.
okay? Anything else as far as terms?
Nothing further. Your
Okay,
Honor.
now, if you violate, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I violate, then your history indicates that 24 months is the appropriate sentence.
I understand.
And if that happens, when you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. A violation would result in a return to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If the violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation, the maximum of which would be the greater of 12 months, or the time you have left under post-release control. Ms. Newman, anything further?
Your Honor, in regards to the review hearings, do you want the probation department to reach out to you, or do you plan on having that scheduled?
No, let me know. He's the report to, who's it gonna be? Who's his PO gonna be?
Eastlake High.
Whoever it is,
James, not James.
well, whoever it is, let them know what went on here today,
Okay,
and he's to report within 24 hours of release. If you don't, then that's another term of your probation. You're to report within 24 hours of your release from Cuyahoga County Jail. So if you don't do it, then you violate it, okay? And then have them call Maria, and we'll set up a review hearing pretty quick, which I want you guys at, okay? All right, any questions? Mr. Davis?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, anything else, Ms. Cantor?
Nothing further.
Mr. Fatika?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're
case number 06CR410. The defendant is here in court with his attorney, James Kerner. We are here for a motion for expungement that was filed by the defendant through his attorney on July 20th, 2023. The state has no objection to this motion, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kerner, on behalf of Mr. Jordan, what do you want to tell me?
Yeah, he had an issue, felony back in 2006, where he admitted to his involvement. He didn't do anything with the drugs, but he transported the people involved in it. They're doing it as a enterprise for all of them. So he fessed up to what he did. He's had a drinking problem. He hasn't had any drinks for 13 years now.
December 8th will be 13 years.
And he's been working as an electrician and going to school to be an electrician for the past 8 years. And that's been going very well. He's a union electrician now, and he's going to be journeyman in that regard. He has an 8-year-old daughter, and he's very attached to, and she's involved in cheerleading and soccer, and he wants to help coach her teams, and you can't do that with a felony on your record. So that's long and short of it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan, what do you want to tell me?
Basically, I just want to not be held back by this mistake that I made when I was younger. I have custody of my 8-year-old daughter, and I want to be able to chaperone things for her and be coaches on the team. And I think if we have it expunged, it would help that process.
Do you get along with her mother?
Not too well. I'm actually going to court to terminate her mother's rights because she doesn't get along very well with
These things you had back in 15 and 16, were those related to her at all?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I take it you're not drinking anymore?
December 8th will be 13 years without a sip of alcohol. I'm really
Okay.
proud to say that.
Because you had 2 DUIs at 8 and 9, so I figure if you were drinking, you'd probably have more, right?
Yeah, I don't drink at
Right.
all, sir.
Okay. All right, you are eligible for the sealing. I'm gonna order that the record be sealed. Ms. Contour will prepare a judgment entry. It'll go to the appropriate agencies. You'll get a copy of it, so, once that's sealed, you should be free to do what you need to do with regard to your daughter,
Thank you, sir.
okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Your Honor.
Anything else?
Nothing further.
All right, we're adjourned. Did he's got fingerprints?
Oh, he has them all?
Already
Got
got
them all? We're good.
Ohio versus James Walsh, case number 23-CR-367. The defendant is present with counsel Kelly Zacharias. We're here today for sentencing. We were last before you on July 20th, 2023 for a change of plea where the defendant pled guilty to count 1, possession of a fentanyl-related compound. A PSR and drug and alcohol evaluation were ordered and have since been completed. The defendant has 29 days of jail time credit, and at this time, the state would ask that count 2 be dismissed. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Zacharias?
Thank you, Your Honor. We are here for sentencing today. Some events have transpired since the last time we were here. Mr. Walsh did test positive after the change of plea with him for a drug test, and he was charged with an OVI from an incident that occurred back in May. We've discussed briefly the possibility of treatment. He would like to go home, get his affairs in order. He rents his place. His dad is having bladder surgery in a few days. He'd like to pay some bills, help his dad out, and then he would be amenable to a treatment program. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Walsh, what do you want to tell me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. First thing, I'd like to apologize to the court for even having to be here today. It's not an excuse or anything. As my attorney addressed the court a minute ago, my father is having his bladder removed in a few days. He's fighting cancer, and I'm behind on a couple little bills. I have the money. I would like to pay them, and I would, if the court recommends treatment, I would definitely report freely and willingly. I am not of any, how can I put it, Your Honor, polite risk at all, sir. I just need to get a few affairs in order and make sure my father's 80, he's all I got. I lost my wife a few years back. My father's he's my soul. Again, I apologize for even having to waste the court's time to be here today, sir.
Well, you're here,
Yes,
so,
sir.
I sense that something was wrong here when you pled, because you didn't seem to be all there,
Okay.
and you were high, right?
No,
You
when I came into court, I wasn't using, but I was probably scared.
Well, but you tested positive for fentanyl.
Okay, that wasn't my desire. I was trying to use cocaine.
Okay, well,
Yes, sir. No disrespect.
you don't really think you have a problem, right?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer, sir.
Well,
I think.
I get that conclusion from what you said.
Can I say something, sir? Being through all this, and I didn't do anything for 10 years, I could walk out of this courtroom today and never turn to another drug.
Then why did you?
You know, there's no excuse whatsoever, Your Honor. My wife's anniversary is July 31st. I found out my dad had cancer about 6 months ago. I just kind of went off the rails a little bit. There's no justification to it, Your Honor. Zero. None. I got a good job. I'm a union pipe fitter. I pay my bills. I just went off track for a little bit, and I'm damn sorry for it now.
Well, you gotta be in court tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
For what?
One of the charges of that F5, they attached an OVI to it. And my license was good for 20 years. Now it's gonna be suspended. I'll drive.
What are the other charges?
I'm not
You
sure.
know?
I believe the possession of drugs, Your Honor.
It was an F5.
Okay. Well, you were supposed to go to court on August 16th.
Yes, sir. I was incarcerated, Your Honor.
I know that, but they came to get you to take you and you wouldn't get out of your cell.
That's not true.
Well, it is true.
Okay.
So they never came to get you to take you to court?
You know what, Your Honor? You said August 16th.
Right.
I'm gonna back up. I don't want to disrespect you at all. On my wristband here, August 16th, I was brought to the hospital. I had kidney failure.
Okay. Call Bowen.
Yes,
find out what's what, I'll be back.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Kelly, I forgot about that. Oh, shit. I never refused to go to court. That's not true. Okay. Is it all right to sit down? Yeah. Yeah, like 3 days. I guess right here. Okay, see what that says right there? They never came to my cell side, right? I refused to go to court. I would never do that. I would never do that. I don't usually stutter either. I'm so fucking nervous. No, I'm not all right. What time did they, was that about the same time? Did they come get you? I don't know, but I never refused to go to court. I was outside myself. I was fucking wrong. I was so sick. And then about, I don't usually stutter either, you know, I fucking nerves on a ripcord, man. Then about 10 days after I was in jail, I had pneumonia in my right lung.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it. I thought something was so sick, man. Huh?
That's today.
No, I went in jail like August 3rd, like a week after that. I went to. Yeah. I was coming from pneumonia and I wanted to renal failure. I never had no. Yeah. Yes, I thought you might know all this. The prosecutor wanna fucking jam me up, don't they? I told. And if she really wanted to jam you up, she would ask to continue sentencing until you resolve the other case and they pull them together so you get 2 years back to back. Or 1 year back to back, 2 years total. You this guy might let me out or no? It depends on when they see the jail. I have a medical record show. Like if you came back with discharge papers that say that you're on pneumonia and kidney failure. I did. As long as the discharge papers show that, that might be able to. I never would lay in like, I wouldn't, sorry. No, it ain't. No, it's not. I don't even, you know, I'm 53 years old. I know I'm a kid. You know, and come here today. And, huh? Pills. I don't know. I felt bad. Huh? Some medicine. No. But see, damn it. I don't know why I'm stuttering like that. No, it ain't, man. It's not all right. I'm a fucking grown man. But, I didn't know. I didn't know that I had kidney failure. I didn't know. You get outside yourself. You know, like I'm not a mental patient either, you know. I didn't know what was going on. I was laying on the ground. Oh, I couldn't move. It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Next thing you know, I was in Tri-C. I'm pretty sure that was the 16th. I think the 18th I went back. This Dr. Cruz. Yeah. I said, I'll feel too good because your numbers are good. You're getting out of here. You know, I felt bad, man. I couldn't even hold my head up. I'll never forget that my whole life. And my kids have never failed on me. I mean, he left the courtroom like that. He was pissed.
No, we should.
Oh, I'm not lying about nothing. See, that's the thing. The whole story doesn't come out, you know. So, that's appropriate. Right there, that's a mess. It's all right. Oh, I never miss a fucking, my nerves, I never miss a chance of my life, man. I feel messed up. I looked at you, I was like, what word am I looking for? You're like,
Claire?
that's exactly what it is. I think
I didn't do that. No way, man. I didn't do it knowingly, I guess. I
Doing anything fun tonight?
don't remember what time of day it was. I was so sick.
These are kind of the best nights though. You have nothing going on.
All right.
So the problem with you is that as soon as you get the chance to get loose, you're grabbing drugs.
No, Your Honor,
You, no, yes, you are, okay, because you were out on bond here, and when you came here to plead, you had, that was, July 20th. You had benzodiazepine, whatever the hell it is, opiates, fentanyl.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
You had that in your system. And then you're out there after a warrant was out, and you get arrested, and you got charges in Willoughby, one of them including a felony 5 drug offense. So you keep grabbing drugs wherever you can when you get out. Now, what did you want to say?
Your Honor, any of the drugs that are, besides the cocaine and fentanyl are false positives. I took some Advil PMs.
Is that how you tested positive for benzo?
I was at Yukon Meridia Hospital the day before, the 19th of the 19th of July, Yukon Meridia. I didn't take any benzos outside of, that's just not my MO, sir. It doesn't look like that.
But you tested positive for them.
Yes, sir, I believe I was given that in Yukon Meridia Hospital, Your Honor.
What were you given?
Benzo.
What was the medication?
I'm not sure, but I did go to Yukon Meridia on, July 19th, the day before I had court.
For what?
I went in there, I says, hey, I'm trying to get off drugs, can we do a drug screen? And, I says, I'm feeling a little antsy because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And I was there approximately 6 hours, Your Honor, and they did give me a benzo, I don't remember exactly what it was.
Then when I asked you the question on the 20th, in the last 48 hours, have you taken any drugs or alcohol or any prescription medication? Why did you tell me no? If you were taking it the day before at the hospital.
You know what, I'm not sure, Your Honor, all I could say, I was probably scared. That's all I could say. I'm not trying to BS you in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, you are, because that's what you do. And you did it in the context of this pre-sentence report. Because when you were asked to give your written version of what happened,
Your Honor?
wait,
I'm sorry.
you said you did a couple of blows and fell out. Now, what the hell does that mean? A couple of blows and fell out.
Can I elaborate?
Yeah, I want to know what that means.
I did a blow, what I thought was cocaine in my car, and I parked in McDonald's,
Right.
and
What does fell out mean?
you just,
Okay, this is,
Your Honor,
these are phrases that
I'm sorry.
that fentanyl users that overdose
Oh.
regularly use.
I never overdosed in my life.
Okay, I'm just telling you
Yes, sir.
where I hear that phrase.
Okay, I kinda heard it in the jail and stuff, where I fell asleep in the,
Well, you
driver's-
weren't in the jail at the time you said that.
No,
okay?
I'm
You
just
were-
saying, you hear,
I know.
no, again, no disrespect, I fell asleep in my car.
Stop saying no disrespect.
Because I'm
okay?
not, I don't want to.
okay?
I fell
And then-
asleep in my car.
I know you did. I know how the offense happened, okay? My
Yes.
interest was your choice of language, that you did a couple of blows and fell out, okay? Now, when you were asked to provide your version during the pre-sentence interview, when asked if you need treatment, because you said this was stupid, is what it was, okay? When you asked, if you need treatment to avoid future stupidity, you replied that you think you can make your own treatment. I am not a head person and not comfortable getting deep. Defendant would ask the court to sentence him to time served and let him go home, advising that the court will not see him again. So I don't think you have any concept of the peril you're in from your activities.
Can I elaborate, sir?
Yeah.
On the pre-sentence investigation, apparently I wasn't real elaborate or deep of what actually happened. I don't recall asking for a written statement of what actually happened.
Well, you wrote it,
Okay,
and one thing you wrote at the beginning of it was, "To whom it may concern,
okay.
one day I was off enjoying myself and a female friend of mine suggested we obtain some cocaine, which we did.
Yes, sir.
However, this wasn't what I thought it was supposed to be. After making plans with her, I dropped her off and went to McDonald's," okay? So,
That's when I was left
so
by
it's really, you wouldn't have done this but for the female, right?
myself. We were doing it together.
I know. She got you something that you didn't know what it was. You thought it was just cocaine.
Then I was sleeping.
Right, you thought it was just cocaine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long you been doing cocaine?
On and off for some years, and like I said, in the last 6 months, again, there's no justification to it, Your Honor.
I know there's no justification.
Uh,
The question is whether you're ever gonna stop. I mean, there's two ways you're gonna stop. You're
Yes,
either
sir.
gonna decide you're gonna stop with the help of some clue about treatment, or you're gonna be dead. Those are the only two ways you're gonna stop.
Can I elaborate, sir? I, myself, I'm 53 years old, I've been through a lot, I don't even wanna do any drugs. I wanna go back to work, I wanna take care of my home, and I wanna take care of my father, he's all I have in this life.
Well, didn't you wanna do that before,
I
2
what?
months ago?
Before what?
Before 2 months ago when this happened, didn't you wanna do that?
Well, you know
Well,
what?
you didn't do it.
Your Honor, I didn't hear the last thing you said, sir.
I said, but you didn't do it.
I went to the McDonald's, sir, and I fell asleep.
I know.
I was off my game, Your Honor, and I apologize deeply, man. Excuse the phrase.
Okay, that's all well and good, except what's gonna change with you?
What's gonna change is life's too short. Life's
Right.
too short. I
But-
can't, hey, you know what?
But 6 months ago, it was too short too, right? When
Yeah.
you were doing all this stuff.
Yeah,
You know why you're doing it? 'Cause you can't stop doing it.
No, that's not true.
It is true. You've demonstrated that that's true.
No disrespect, sir.
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't stop
Okay,
saying no disrespect, okay?
because I don't want to.
I don't take any disrespect from anything you're telling me.
All right, I just don't wanna act in any kind of way where you think I'm conveying disrespect to you. I have nothing but disrespect.
I don't think you're conveying disrespect. I think that you're somewhat delusional and thinking you don't have a problem when every objective indicator says that you have a problem.
Yes, sir.
And the question is whether you're gonna do anything about it, or whether you're gonna go out there and, you know, you seem to like this cocaine stuff, okay, but there's all kinds of fentanyl in cocaine, right? There's all kinds of fentanyl in pills,
Everything.
okay?
Didn't,
And so you keep conducting yourself the way you're conducting yourself, and you're gonna end up dead. There's no question about that.
Yes, sir.
So the solution is for you not to go back over to the jail and go home. That's not the solution. That's the problem. That's setting you up for dead.
I just don't want to, when I am released, walk out to have nothing.
Well, if you walk out now, okay, then you'll have dead. That's what you'll have.
I disagree with you, Your Honor.
Well, you can disagree all you want, okay, but I'm looking at your history, and I'm not talking about when you were 30, I'm talking about in the last couple of months.
Yes, sir. I just, I try to.
Where do you get your cocaine?
Off the street?
What, it's just laying on the street if I walk out
No,
to Erie?
I just
Where?
have to make a few calls. It's getting harder, actually.
Okay, no, it ain't getting harder. You,
I mean-
where do you go to get it?
Cleveland.
Where? You ever go to the BP on 185th and Neff? You ever go there to get it?
No.
It's not hard to get. You can pull up to the gas pump and somebody will walk right up to you. So don't tell me it's hard to get, okay? I'm not an idiot. All right.
Again, no,
Okay.
I'm not trying to.
Guy today was telling me about a Holmes in 152nd where he gets 140th in Lakeshore. You can get it anywhere.
I just went around the MLK area, which I
Okay.
was familiar with.
So you can get it. You can get it anytime you want to get it. And you don't need to go to Cleveland to get it. You can go a block down this way and you can get it just as easy. You go up to the gas station near 84 and you can get it right up there. Okay? So don't tell me it's getting harder to get. Okay?
I just-
Don't bullshit me, man.
I'm not trying to.
Okay?
I'm not trying to, Your Honor.
Okay, yes you are. You are. You are.
Can I elaborate one more time?
Yeah.
sir? I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I just wanted to be there for my pop. He's getting his bladder removed in a couple of days. I just got an enormous
Okay.
amount of bills to pay. I do have the money. I'm a good saver, but I just,
I know, but you're no good to your pop dead either. And I don't think you have the first clue about where you're at in your life.
I know where I'm
And
at.
it's a damn shame because you can go out there and earn a very good living. And you have earned a very good living, okay?
I
But
do.
you're screwing it up, and you're screwing up your existence on earth with your activities.
Sorry to this court, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's abundantly clear that the defendant needs treatment. And it's discouraging that while this case has been pending, the defendant committed another offense while out in bond on this case. It's discouraging all the positive tests that we have. And I find it extremely troubling that when the defendant does use drugs, he's out in public, in his car, behind the wheel, potentially putting himself at risk and everybody else who's out on the road that day at risk. However, the state doesn't believe that prison would be appropriate in this case, so the state would ask for community control sanctions to include JTP. Thank you.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report, the drug and alcohol evaluation, I've listened to you, I've listened to counsel. I've considered, all provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. Put you on community control for 3 years, you're gonna serve 74 days in jail with credit for 29. The last 30 days are gonna be in a jail treatment program. You're gonna complete that and follow all recommendations. You'd have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're to attend at least 3 AA meetings a week and get a sponsor. You're to utilize only 1 doctor, 1 dentist, and 1 pharmacist for prescription medication. If you are prescribed medication, you're to take it only as prescribed. You're going to sign releases for probation, obtain full employment, and pay the costs and fees. You understand the terms?
Yes, sir.
If you don't comply, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violated, I'll terminate you and you face 12 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If that happens, when you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate the conditions, parole authority could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If that violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation. The maximum sentence would be the greater of 12 months or the time they have left under post-release control. The remaining count is dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Bell?
Just a forfeiture, Your Honor.
Forfeiture to the state. Ms. Zacharias, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, we're adjourned.
defense has filed a motion to determine competency. The matter was referred to Dr. Rinsberg. A report has been accomplished and delivered, and we are here today for a hearing on that competency. The state would stipulate to the contents of that report for the court's consideration on the issue.
All right, Ms. Springer?
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense is also in receipt of the competency from Dr. Rinsberg dated August 17th of 2023. We have reviewed that report and would stipulate to the contents of that report for the purpose of this case as well. In addition, Mr. Hill has been indicted by the Lake County Grand Jury and has been served with a copy of that indictment and would be prepared to enter a guilty plea today, should the court be willing to accept that. He would waive any defects in the time, manner, and service of that indictment.
All right, is that, well, first of all, there's a stipulation from the state to the competency.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so based on the stipulation and the report of Dr. Rinsberg, I will find that Mr. Hill has the ability to understand the nature and objectives of the proceedings and to assist in his defense. And then, Mr. Hill, this is your arraignment, but Ms. Springer indicates you want to plead guilty to this charge, which is trespass in a habitation when a person is present or likely to be present, a felony of the 4th degree. Is that your wish?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I'm 51, sir.
How far did you go through school?
I went to the 9th grade.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, I can.
Prior to coming to court, have you taken any drugs or alcohol or any prescription medication in the last 48 hours?
Only my blood pressure medication. I
And,
think that's listed.
and you've been diagnosed, Dr. Rinsberg indicates schizophrenia by history. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Your Honor, he is also on a medication for that in the jail. It is an injectable form, so that hasn't been injected in the last 48 hours, but it is in his system.
Okay.
So just so the court's aware of that.
Any trouble understanding what's going on here today, Mr. Hill?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, now before I accept your guilty plea, I need to determine that you know and understand the constitutional rights you'll be waiving, the consequences of your guilty plea, and the maximum penalty I could give you, and I need to be satisfied that your guilty plea is being made freely, knowingly, and voluntarily. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you don't understand a question or you want to talk to Ms. Springer some more, let me know and I'll give you more time. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a constitutional right to have a trial, either to me or to a jury of 12 Lake County citizens. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If you go to a jury trial, all 12 members must agree to a guilty verdict before you can be found guilty. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, the prosecutor will call witnesses to testify against you. Do you understand the prosecutor must prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
After the witnesses are done testifying for the prosecutor, you have the constitutional right to have your lawyer cross-examine those witnesses. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, you have the right to have witnesses come here and testify for you. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If those witnesses refuse to come to court, then I'll issue an order called a subpoena to make them come here and testify. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
And I'm waiving that right today as well, Your Honor.
You have the right to testify at trial if you want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your
And
Honor.
are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your
You
Honor.
have the constitutional right to not testify at trial if you do not want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If you decide not to testify at trial, nobody is permitted to comment on that decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you go to trial and you're found guilty, you have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you have the constitutional right to have a lawyer represent you in the appeal. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your
Are
Honor.
you waiving that right?
I'm waiving that right today too, Your Honor.
If you could not afford to hire a lawyer, one would be provided at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you're entitled to have a transcript of all the hearings in this case. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
And I'm waiving that right today as well, Your Honor.
If you cannot afford a copy of those transcripts, they'd be given to you at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty today, you will not have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of your rights?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Do you still want to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes, I would like to plead guilty to this charge, Your Honor.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're fully admitting your guilt to the charge?
Yes, I do understand that, Your Honor.
You understand by pleading guilty to this felony that you're voluntarily giving up your freedom for whatever period of time I could sentence you to prison, to jail, or to community control?
Yes, I do understand that, Your Honor.
Now, trespass in a habitation is a felony of the 4th degree. It carries an 18-month maximum prison sentence and a $5,000 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you on post-release control to the Adult Parole Authority?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
Do you understand your felony conviction will prevent you from owning or possessing a firearm?
Yes, I do understand that, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if a prison term is imposed in this case, you might have to serve a period of post-release control as part of your sentence for up to 2 years under the parole authority?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you are placed on post-release control and you violate any conditions, the parole authority could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If your violation of post-release control is a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And if that were to occur, the maximum prison term for that violation would be the greater of 12 months for the time you have left under post-release control. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you understand if a prison term is imposed, you are eligible for judicial release?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I could place you on community control for up to 5 years, but if you violate any conditions, I could send you to prison for 18 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, has anybody promised you that I would be lenient on you just because you're pleading guilty today?
No one has promised me such, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you what I will sentence you to in this case?
No, they haven't, Your Honor.
Do you understand at the time of sentencing, I do not have to follow the recommendation of either the prosecutor or your lawyer?
Yes, I understand that fully, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to talk with Ms. Springer before pleading guilty today?
Yes, I have had plenty of time, Your Honor.
Has she answered all your questions?
Fully, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the advice she's given you?
Yes, she's a very good attorney, Your Honor.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to plead guilty today?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
Are you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entering your guilty plea?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this point?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Mulligan, if the case went to trial, what would the evidence show?
Your Honor, the state would be prepared to show that on June 5th, 2023, in Concord Township, Lake County, Ohio, the defendant entered 7816 Keystone Drive, the home of Robert Code. He came in through the garage, an open bay door, and opened the man door into the kitchen. He walked into that occupied structure. Mr. Code's adult daughter was present in the home at the time.
All right. Ms. Springer, anything to add to those facts?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill, did you hear what Ms. Mulligan said the facts would show if the case went to a trial?
Yes, I did hear, Your Honor.
And are those facts true?
Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
All right. What is your plea then to trespass in a habitation, a felony of the 4th degree?
I'm pleading guilty today to that, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Springer? Bob, we need a sentencing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hill has before him the written plea of guilty, which I've gone over with him in its entirety and answered any questions he had in relation to it, and he is prepared to sign it at this time.
All right. Mr. Hill, if you want to plead guilty, then you need to sign that document.
Yes, sir.
Right there.
October 5th, 8:30.
Your Honor, I have witnessed Mr. Hill's signature
on the written plea of guilty here in open court, and I have signed the document myself.
And I too have signed the document as a witness to the execution of the written.
All right, Mr. Hill, is this your signature on the written plea of guilty?
Yes, sir, it is, Your Honor.
Did you sign it voluntarily?
Yes, I did sign it voluntarily, Your Honor.
And do you want me to accept the written plea of guilty?
I'd like that very much, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept the written plea of guilty. Defendant was present with Ms. Springer, advised of all of his rights, made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of those rights. He understands the nature of the charge, the consequences of his guilty plea, and the maximum penalty. Find it to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of trespass and habitation of felony 4. I'm going to refer this for a pre-sentence report and a victim impact statement. The sentencing will be October 5 at 8:30 a.m. and the bond is revoked. Anything else, Ms. Mulligan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Springer?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.